Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. So we're just talking about all the different problems that we come across when we speak about a larger theme of gender inequality, right? And we've listed down 14 things over here so far, and I can still see many responses going on, coming in the chat box. I will definitely take a screenshot and put it up on the group, Naraka. Don't worry about that. But yes, so these are some things that as a class we have written down about what we currently know about the problem of gender inequality. Today we're going to watch a couple more videos and we're just going to keep a very open space, right? So I would just request every single person on this group to be open to thoughts. These might be new thoughts, they might be challenging the thoughts that we already have, but I would request you to try and keep an open mind, number one. Number two, I would also like you guys to be respectful of each other's thoughts and opinions. You might be thinking of things in one way, your friends might be thinking in the completely opposite way to that, right? So just be respectful of the diversity of the thought that we see around us. Yeah, these are the two requests I have of this group. And one last request is there are going to be certain sensitive topics that we are going to be dealing with. I definitely do hope that you do not use this as a way to make fun of each other or bully each other a little while later after the class is done, etc. I treat you guys as very, very smart, responsible, mature people, and I hope that you can live up to that. Yeah? Do give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go ahead. Seeing many thumbs up, seeing some celebrations. Beautiful. Okay, waiting for a couple more to come up. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. Let's quickly get started then. Sorry? Okay.
Can you repeat once? No.
I repeated some expectations of the group, Meena. If any of your classmates can put it down on the chat box, you can just check it out from there. Yeah, I'm gonna get started on the video. One of you who remembers the expectation, or all of you also, can just share it on the chat for Meena to understand as well. Yeah, let's help her out. All right, with that, I am starting the first video of our day. Some of you might have seen this. For others, here we go.
लड़के नहीं रोते
बैठो बैठो लड़के रोते नहीं
Stop crying, Rohan. Are you a girl? Boys don't cry. Okay?
Are you a girl? Why are you crying? Don't behave like a girl.
चलो
Boys don't cry.
लड़के रोते नहीं.
मैंने बोला ना लड़के नहीं रोते हैं
लड़के रोते नहीं है
ए लड़के रोते नहीं हैं
लड़के रोते नहीं हैं
well done अरे लड़के नहीं रोते यार
ओ देवदास छोड़ ना यार लड़के ऐसे नहीं रोते
बचपन से ही सिखाते हैं कि लड़के रोते नहीं हैं। शायद बेहतर होगा अगर हम सिखाएं कि लड़के रुलाते नहीं हैं।
Giving you guys a few seconds to just settle down with what you just saw, and then maybe you could come off mute and share how it made you feel. And yeah, let's just take some time first, and then we can share how it made us feel. I can see some chat box responses coming in. Ravi?
Am I audible, Didi?
Yes.
Great. A few months back, I attended a seminar which was conducted by one of my friend called Nisha. She was working on gender bias statements. One of the but gender bias statement that we encountered was about that boys don't cry, only girls do, which was one of the most hurtful statement for many people. And many people doesn't realize it. They just feel like that's a fact. People feel like that's a fact. So we've gone through this seminar for like an hour and 30 minutes, which was very big. And we understood and gone through such gender biased statements which was happening. In the video, as we observed, there were many incidents where this gender biased statement has been used. But I believe it shouldn't be used because gender biased statements may be okay with some people, but not with others. Any statement which hurts someone else's feelings shouldn't be considered as a way of speaking. Even though it depends on perspective, I still don't feel like you should use this because even though it depends on the perspective, there are some universal issues that we need to follow as, such as calling only girls, saying only girls cry. That's more like, it's like discriminating complete the gender. It's like we're disrespecting the gender which gave us the birth. I just believe like, mm, yeah, that's what I was bringing about the sex education and more interesting topics with children, mostly children like Arich could learn about, where I gone through puberty for last 1 month so badly.
So true. Ravi, if I may just ask you one more question, right? And feel free to not answer this because it might be a little vulnerable. However, so you spoke from a larger perspective of society and gender, right? But as a boy, as someone who has probably been told this at some point of time that boys don't cry, how does that statement itself make you feel as a person, as a young man? How does that statement itself make you feel when someone tells you that boys don't cry?
Yeah, Didi. Since like even till fourth and fifth class, I was a crybaby, even though I am now. Then it was like I wasn't that matured. I agree with that. I just didn't understand the statement very much. I just felt like that was a fact. That's why I said the reason. Later, as I told, as you consider me as a young one, as a good matured enough teenager, I believe that really hurts. That really hurts me. Probably now, after going through so many issues and all, I've learned a lot and started respecting other gender more, no matter what they are. So I believe such statements shouldn't be used because it also hurts me, not only them. It's like I have my sisters, I have my mother, I have many other people. Why would someone say very bad about that gender? I seen girls say that too. So I believe, why do you even need to discriminate your own gender?
Yeah. Not just discriminate against girls saying that crying is equal to a girly thing, which is definitely problematic. But like I'm seeing on the chat, Kavya saying that we're all human, right? Why should we say that one gender is allowed to express and one gender is not? And Niharika said the same, that if boys don't cry, how can they express their feelings? And I think that's where the um, the anger and the frustration builds up and we don't express and then it moves into violence. Bisai and Virana, listen from you guys as well. First Bisai and then Virana, and then we'll move ahead.
Didi, can I?
Yes, please do.
So, Didi, if people are forcing boys, Didi, I mean, not boys only. if you see this video, it is telling that boys don't cry, no, Didi. So
Yeah.
because of that, all the boys are stopping crying. All this happening, no, Didi. So if all the people supported to girls also, girls will not cry, or girls can also do what boys can do. They can do against if something went wrong, like this something.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, Sai. Here, before I move on to Veerana though, I would like the class to just think about, as a society or as a human being, why are we so afraid of crying? Why are we so afraid of feeling and expressing our emotions? Isn't it one of the most natural things for us to feel? And isn't it one of the most effective release methods that we see around us? Like, I cry when I have a lot of work. I cry when um, something deeply bothers me or makes me really happy as well. Crying is just your brain returning to its equilibrium position when one emotion takes precedence over everything else and your brain needs to maintain a balance. It comes out in the form of tears. And I think that's beautiful for your body to have a way to just balance itself out. So maybe just think about, why is crying looked down on? Why is crying considered something bad when it's something so beautiful and so natural? Just think about that. Veerana, we'll take a response from you.
Yeah, I was thinking that the statement which boys don't cry is not looking like a statement in these days, Didi. It's like looking like a fact which we should be going to follow in nowadays, Didi. And as you said, Didi, so it's a common emotion that which we can feel. As the people are believing that boys should not feel that emotion, in this case, it is becoming like a fact. True fact for everyone should be going to follow this fact only. There is
Yeah.
other no way to stop this fact.
Yeah. So when people say these things to you, Veerana, and again, feel free to not answer this, but when people say these things to you, maybe, how does that make you feel?
It's make us feel very bad, because we can't express our feelings, but if we are just storing this expression as a World Bank of India, storing, once it will come very badly. We don't know how much it will come, what will it will come, which we store, sir, it will increase the power. As we know about the volcanoes, no, it will store a lot of energy in it. If it is constantly storing, then it will come with lot of pressure. Same like if we are constantly storing our feelings and thoughts, all these things in our heads, then how in what way to express, we don't know. It
Yeah.
can be expressed in a very non-violence way.
Yeah.
We choose which way it wants to express it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Veerana. I would like all of you to just take a minute and note down these thoughts and reflections, these learnings in the table in the second column of what have I learned from video one. In a few words also, you can note it down just for your own reference, but please make sure you're filling that up. We'll take the next 30 seconds for you to write keywords and you can fill it up after class. I'm seeing some very, very beautiful thoughts coming up on the chat box as well about how this statement hurts literally everybody. Everybody is hurt by this statement because it makes us fit into certain roles that boys have to behave this way, girls have to behave this way, and it completely eliminates another gender that we identify as the third gender community. Right? It's just a very, very problematic thing. And I am glad that as individuals, all of you are able to see how it is hurtful. And therefore, I hope that when you are parents someday, or you are the next generation, you will put a stop to this. And your children will grow up feeling loved, and they will grow up feeling that they are allowed and capable of feeling their emotions because their parents understand them. Let's make sure that we can fix the things that we are finding wrong around ourselves. Yeah, great. With that, I'll get started on my next sharing also. Just finish filling in your table. All right. This is a little longer as a video. It is also probably something that might be new to many of you. It might be something which you will not agree with because you haven't had the context of this before. It is about the third gender community. But I would want you to keep your minds open and just listen, see, etc. And then we'll have a discussion. Yeah. All right.
Coimbatore, India. My connection to this story and this place is unique. My grandfather was born here, and now I'm visiting for the first time nearly 8 decades later. Like many places in the subcontinent, it's a city.
1 second, guys. I'm just seeing if the captions are available. Yeah.
Exploring the boundaries of old and new, but one community in particular is pushing through a complex past and looking towards a transforming future. They are Hijra, India's ancient transgender community. We've only just arrived, but my team and I have been invited to a unique celebration. This is a ceremony of rebirth, a moment of transformation. It's a welcome into womanhood and a community of like-minded souls. For one, this party marks the very first time to dress in sari, a badge of honor and symbol of femininity for nearly all Indian women.
அதாவது லைஃப்பில் வந்து ரொம்ப சாதிச்சா ஒருத்தன் இப்போ என்ன நினைக்கிறான்னா அதை விட 1000 தடவை வந்து அதை விட அதுக்கு மீறி சந்தோஷப்படுறோம். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கேன். முதல் புடவை கட்டும் போது பெண்ணாக உணர்ந்தேன்.
Hijra are now a politically recognized third gender, a category of people whose identity is neither male nor female. They began their lives as one gender, but have physically transitioned to another. Dana is one of the estimated 2 million Hijra in India.
You look so lovely. This colour is amazing on you.
Hijra means something different. I was born a man, now I'm a woman. I did a sex change, so I'm a transsexual woman. I feel proud to be a transgender. I don't think there's something abnormal in me.
In India, Hijra have a recorded history of more than 4,000 years. Royal courts held them in high regard, and sacred Hindu texts described them in bright sari and delicate jewelry, bestowing them with special powers to bring luck and fertility.
The Hijras are considered to be an incarnation, another form of Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva and Lord Shakti. So every new thing that happens, a transgender is there.
These revered Hijra traditions do continue, and some of Dana's friends have invited us to see the Hijra offer a blessing.
Newly married couple goes first to a transgender, get their blessings and start their life. A newborn baby is first given to a transgender and the baby is being blessed.
The community of women greet our arrival and have put on their nicest saris for the occasion.
I can't wait to see it all.
They do some rituals to bless the child.
At first, the baby isn't as welcoming to his new guest. But soon he is mesmerized by the magical dance and song of the Hijra deities. Good fortune has arrived. The words that they're saying in the song.
May God bless the child and let the child live for 100 years healthy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Though despite their special place in Indian culture and history, Hijra have been pushed to the fringes and have not received the same civil rights as men and women.
The minute the family realizes that this person is not of a regular gender, they probably beg that human being, please leave.
Because it's bring shame on the family.
Shame on the family. And when you don't have education, you can't work. That's the reason they're involved in heavy sex trade, heavy prostitution.
Rejected by their families and society, many turn to prostitution and begging as their only means to survive. They're refused jobs, ostracized, criminalized, and even sexually assaulted on the street.
நான் பையன் இல்லை பொண்ணு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பொண்ணானதுக்கப்புறம் எல்லாருமே என்னை பாசமாக பார்க்கல. என் ஃபேமிலி, கவர்மெண்ட் அண்ட் சொசைட்டி யாருமே எங்களை வந்து ஏற்றுக்கிறது இல்லை.
I never used to behave like a guy. I used to help my mom in the kitchen, help her in cooking.
Did you feel comfortable talking to your family about the way that you felt?
Well, they didn't accept me. They want me as a son, not as a daughter. It's been now 6 years. I'm out of my family altogether. I was really scared, but I had no choice.
How did you find
Just paused here because unfortunately we don't have enough time to just watch the whole thing. I'll share the links with you, however. But again, I think this was even more radical for many of us. So let's take a few minutes and just think about, were we able to see anything, understand anything differently? And if yes, let's come off mute and share. Excuse me. Anyone who wants to share? Dashrath?
Didi, we could see that there is no cooperation in the family, Didi. If a
Where did
person
you see
wants to,
that?
if a person wants to trans him into transgender or a transsexual, Didi, the family members do not cooperate with him. They think that their family's pride will gone, and they make them those type of people to walk out, and those people will move somewhere else, far away from the family, and live like an orphan.
Yeah, Didi, just to add, Dashra Didi. So when the family will not cooperate with them and they'll not allowed as their kids anymore, so they used to do some other things like asking money to become beggars and for going to a prostitution. As this, they will choose to do this, Didi, because even though their family is not allowed it, even though their family is not making them as a family member, so they choose to do these things. These are the reason for the transsexual and transgenders to do other things to this, such as prostitution and the beggars, becoming beggars.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Virana. Raghu?
Thank you, Didi. I want to say, Didi, who are saying transgender, Didi, they don't wantedly had become the transgender, Didi. By they have some problems inside their body, they have become like that. They don't wantedly become as a transgender, and some of them see like not like a human also. Some of them see them like a very unnormal thing and make them sad, and but they are making a lot of changes, Didi. But I shared your link, Didi. Just see that video, Didi. I had shared your link. You will get to know more about it, Didi.
Sure. Thank you, Raghu. Ravi?
Yeah, am I audible, Didi?
Yes.
Before I go through my point, I would like to just add up something to Raghuvardhan's point. Yeah, I agree with you completely, but I just feel like something that I would like to add up. Even though there is any within their sexual, even though there's any chemical reactions within their body, it's more like they're willing to do it. I believe transgenders, hijras, are literally one of the most brave souls. They're like, every time I try to do something weird, people were like, what do other things about it? What do society thinks about it? What will your people that you love will think about it? And they hold back themselves and they try to hold me back about this. I believe they are one of the most bravest souls I could ever meet. I was literally very happy to have a gay as my roommate. That was amazing experience for me. For 4 days, I was in a room with a gay, and that experience that I had, I felt like I was very lucky to know more about this person, even though that's a different gender, not connected to transgender, but still, I believe we among any gender, I believe there's still humanity as we talk about, right? That's what I believe in. It's they're willing to do it by their own perspectives and they're happy to do it, then we shouldn't stop them, nor we shouldn't think like they're different or something like that.
Thank you, Ravi. Anyone else wants to share before I share? Haven't heard from the girls yet regarding this. Let me know. I can see all of you sharing on the chat though, so I'm okay. Yeah, Niharika.
So, Didi, what means such such people came into our house, Didi, and every time when marriage happen, all such things happen. They come to our house and ask for money, all those things. And one of them is my not friend actually, but is close to us. We call them. His name is Krishna. We call them Krishnamma. He only says to call us. So his parents doesn't agree him as his son, and he is living an alone life. But he did everything with his hands. Didi. Means he's earning money nicely, all such things. By that I got inspired.
Thank you so much for sharing this, Niharika. Thank you. Dashrath, you raised your hand again. You want to add something?
Yes, Didi. So even though people hijras get an education, Didi, even though they are good enough literature or a scholar, Didi, just because they are transgender or transsexual, they do not get jobs, Didi, by looking their physical appearance.
Yes. Thank you, Dashrath, for that. So many thoughts here, right? It's something, this is one of the topics that I deeply care about, and I hope that we can keep continuing these conversations. I hope that you guys will come up with many questions today evening so that I can address them once the half an hour time is over, because there's a lot about this, right? There's just so much. But just to start off, I wanted to say a few things, right? Let's first understand what is the biology behind all of this, right? I heard Raghu use the word problem, and I know he didn't mean it negatively, but I heard Raghu use the word problem in the body. I don't think it's a problem, right? So in our human bodies, we have two hormones, one of which is called estrogen, one of which is called testosterone, right? When estrogen levels are higher, then a person is typically female. So if I identify as a woman, if I identify as female, then I have higher estrogen levels in my body. If a man, if my brother identifies as male, it is because he has higher testosterone levels in his body and he identifies with that gender. Sorry about that. He identifies with that gender, right? Sometimes what happens is, and these are all just like the biological organs that I'm talking about, right? So I'm born with a female body because of high estrogen levels. Someone is born with a male human body because testosterone levels are higher. Sometimes these levels are not as typically high or low as we would expect them to be. And people are born with, say, the upper body of a woman and the lower body of a man. Sometimes born with the upper body of a man and the lower body of a woman. Sometimes born with a perfectly normal according to society body, but they identify with another gender. So for instance, I, born with a female body, can identify as a man. I don't feel woman, I don't feel female. So I can choose to identify as a man because that is what I feel more comfortable in. And it is about my comfort that matters, not what anybody else or any society member thinks, whether that be my own family or anybody outside of it, right? Many of you shared instances of how members of the transgender community are not given the kind of respect that they deserve for no other reason than for just being a human being, right? They are not looked at as proper human beings. Niharika shared such a powerful story about somebody working hard and making their own life despite their parents or their family not wanting to associate with them. Why? Because of their gender, because of the gender that they chose to acknowledge and conform to. So if this is the kind of situation our own families are unable to take up, how can we expect the world to be fair? Just look around. In our own class, do we have a member of the transgender community? Why not? Why do we not have many transgender children in our schools? Why not? Do they not exist? Of course they do. So where do they study? And if they don't study, how will they work? And if they don't work, how will they live? So if we are denying a human being education, if we are denying a human being employment, they are left with no other way to survive rather than beg, steal, or do something that gets them money, even if society does not consider it to be right. So when we get angry at people saying they come and take money from us, let's also think how else will they survive? Yes, we don't want to give the money. Yes, we are earning money by working very hard. But if we are not giving someone a chance to earn their money, then what will they do to live? And how can we create a society where we stop saying us and them? They're not different, right? The third gender community is not different from us. They just are underrepresented as compared to us. Meena, you might have to stay on mute. Just think about these things. They're very new and you'll have many doubts. And I encourage you to ask me as many questions as you can. Niharika, you can ask on chat or you can ask me even off mute. You may extend like the class by 5 minutes or so, even though I know it's done. However, just one last thing before you guys choose to drop off. One, thank you so much for just keeping an open mind and listening. I know it might not have been easy for many of you. I know some of you have not been engaging. It might have been very difficult, very different for you. Feel free to message me privately also, if not on the group. Feel free to message me. I might not immediately get back, but I will by the end of the day. And let's just try and understand our world a little bit better, right? The reason we spoke about gender today is because we have a poem coming up that talks about a little bit of gender inequality against women specifically. But since we were on the topic, I thought it would be very important for us to talk about how gender inequality affects not just women, but all genders, all communities, right? So let us spend some time today exploring this problem more, researching a little more, not just gender, but any other problem that is very close to your heart. Go ahead and explore it a little bit more and come back, share doubts, resources, everything on the group, and we'll take that up. I saw one very beautiful question just pop up on the chat box, by the way, that asked me, are there just 3 genders or more? Let's find out. Yeah, let's find out. And I will continue this conversation tomorrow before we start off with the class. Yeah. I'm saving this chat because it's beautiful. You may choose to leave the class because Bhaiya's class will start off. But thank you so much, guys. Take some time. Tell Bhaiya you might need a few minutes because this was a heavy discussion. It was a heavy, vulnerable space. So let him know and then start your math class or physics class, whatever.
Bye, Didi.
Bye-bye. See you all. Bye, Ravi. Hey, Nandini, I hope you're okay. I didn't hear much from you today.
Bye, Didi.
Bye. Bye.
దీది
Yes, Sai.
ఈ బుక్ లో ఉండే నేర్చుకోవడం కంటే ఇలాంటివి నేర్చుకోవడం బెస్ట్ దీది.
కదా ఒక్కొక్కసారి అలానే అనిపిస్తుంది. బట్ మేబీ బుక్ లో ఉన్నది ఇలా రిలేట్ చేసుకొని నేర్చుకుంటే ఒక బ్యాలెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ అయిపోతుంది. అప్పుడు ఏమంటావు?
ఓకే దీది.
Let's see if our books can be more relevant.
ఓకే దీది. బాయ్ దీది.
Bye, Sai. Thank you, Memo. Pujita, Nandini, you guys okay? Bye, Vinay. Pujita and Nandini, you guys okay? Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Didi.
Good morning. How are you today?
Fine.
Fine enough. Good morning.
వాళ్ళ దమ్దమైనది భయా క్లాస్
అవునా ఎందుకు
అదే వస్తలేదు సార్
ఏంటి ఇంటర్నెట్ ప్రాబ్లమా అయ్యో
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్
ఏమై శైలజ ఫుల్ టైర్డ్ అనిపిస్తున్నావు
ఏ కాదు దీది
కదా
అప్పటి నుంచి ట్రై చేస్తున్నా
అని
అప్పటి నుంచి ట్రై చేస్తున్నా హోస్ట్ ఇంకా రానిస్తలేడు
అవునా ఓకే ఓకే
ఇప్పుడు వచ్చిందని తీసిన
ఓకే ఓకే హలో సంజయ్
హాయ్ దీది
హాయ్ శ్రావణి
హాయ్ దీది
హాయ్ విశ్వ హాయ్ కీర్తి
హాయ్ దీది గుడ్ మార్నింగ్